Hello. I wasn't gonna make you guys wait for 30 minutes today. Uh, yeah, sorry about the awkward intro. I just was like, well, what what kind of music can you really play in this situation? So a lot to talk about today, but yeah, for the people I've been asking, I'm fine. I've been okay. Be strong, little man. I'm not a little man. Okay, sorry that I'm not turning on camera yet. I feel like I'm gonna puke. So, I wanted to. Well, I felt like I had to go live and, like, say my piece and my experiences since, I've lived here and I did not see a scenario where it was possible for me to go back to. And I saw some people also speculating. I'm fully allowed to talk about anything I want to talk about. I'm not held back by legal stuff or anything because I'm not involved in the investigation, obviously, and I'm just allowed to say anything I want. Like, I'm my own person and my own content creator at the end of the day, and so, yeah, there's that. And, make reality kind of set in, or whatever, you know? So, to get into it, I'm not trying to stall or anything, just wanted to preface everything properly. So to get into it, as of today, Slick is gone. He is gone. He'll be back on Sunday to pick up his stuff, but he's gone. And he's never coming back, obviously. And, I don't think it needs to be said, but what he did is abhorrent. Like, how he treated all those girls was as a girl myself, obviously, being through shit like that, it was just really hard to see. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking about this. So to preface all this, before I get into, like, talking about what I experienced and what I now understand, obviously unconsensual touch, unconsensual receiving photos, unconsensual messages, all of it is disgusting and never okay, obviously. I'm not saying that because people have been saying that they think that I think that. I just want to make that very, very, very fucking clear. And it's terrible that when these things happen, people feel like they can't say anything about it. No one should feel like they have to be quiet about sexual misconduct against them. So, and I know it's in sub mode. I really wanted people to be able to ask questions and say their opinion, but for today, I think there's just too many people that want to steer things off track that I had to put it in sub mode, but you guys don't have to spam emotes. If you have questions or things you want to say, feel free to say it. I'm not trying to silence anyone's opinion or anything like that. So, obviously I'm sure everyone here knows, but for people who maybe don't, yes, Slick was my roommate, and I've been living with him for about 10 months now. And I honestly considered him one of my good friends. And, when the original situation happened, it was before I moved in, right? But I did hear about it when it first came out, and when I first heard about it, my initial thought was like that shit is horrible. Like I can't associate with that. But what changed my mind was like the stuff that was said back then. The original conversation, and say that his greatest fear was being canceled. And I would always say to him, like, you fucked up back then. You shouldn't have done that, but, you know, you say, like, she said it was okay. And we both know that you're a respectful person who wouldn't say things like that to... Like, I just don't know if I've ever felt so betrayed in my life by a friend. My opinion was an undeserved second chance. And he just continued acting the same way. Even just like a week ago during his subathon. He just didn't care and didn't try. He didn't even deserve that chance. He just kept doing what he was doing. It just sucks, like, seeing that shit happen to other people, especially coming from someone that I was in close proximity with. Like, I mean, you guys know that I moved here to get away from a predator, and I ended up living with one, unbeknownst to me, for 10 months. I mean, looking back now, there's a lot of stuff that makes sense. It just sucks, like, I don't know what else to say, but, I mean, I'm glad that he's gone, and I'm glad that, you know, Adriana got to talk about this. I'm glad those other girls got to talk about this. I'm glad that we know the full story now. But yeah, it just hurts. Like, I hope it doesn't seem like I'm trying to make this thing about me, because I'm not. I'm just trying to speak to my chat and explain what was going on, because I'm sure a lot of you were wondering. The person that I was friends with, yeah, he's gone today, and I'm never gonna see him again, so. Sorry, there's a lot more that I want to say. I'm just thinking and trying to calm down. Yeah, I'm glad that I got that off my chest, but it's not even, it's kind of just something that I mean, I pretty much realized that the first day that this all started, but as more and more stuff came out, it was just like, I do want to say though, I've never felt unsafe living in this house, and you guys know that. Simply, Russell, Ms., they've never done anything that ever made me feel uncomfortable or like they didn't respect my boundaries or anything like that, because a lot of people have been asking that, so I just wanted to say that. And I've been getting a lot of comments and DMs as well that have been expecting me or pressuring me to leave OTK, to leave everything. And as of right now, I'm not leaving. It's not a coincidence that when I was dealing with my own shit that they were there for me and propped me up, and I know firsthand more than anyone that they take my well-being very seriously. Not just me, but all of the girls around here and in this sphere and that work for them. They've, as an org, they've always been very supportive of me, and the way that they've been handling this, I know you guys don't know everything that's happening and there's a lot of speculation, but the way that they've been handling this is super reassuring to me, and it makes me feel very safe. They prioritize my well-being, and that's why I'm here. Frick, I didn't think I'd be crying literally this whole time. Oh my god. Like I said when I started this stream, it's kind of just all coming out now because I've just been holding it in. Yeah. There are more things that I want to talk about. I just am still preparing myself, I guess. It's been, I mean, obviously it doesn't involve me at all, besides me living here and being in close proximity with people involved, but it's been a lot. And like I said, I hope it doesn't come across like I'm trying to make it about myself or something. I'm just trying to speak what to me is the truth and share what's been going on in a way that only I can. Yeah, it's just a lot. I mean, for people that have been watching me for a long time before now, I mean, I don't know if I'd call this getting involved in drama. I feel like I'm just in a position where I have to say something like this. I've had a 6-year drama-free run on Twitch until now. I've always somehow managed to stay out of things. I would say I still am, but this is just a lot. This time, the shit was just so bad. And I just felt like if I shared some of my experience, and there's more things I want to share, it would bring, I don't know. I feel like for everyone, not just people in chats that are in close proximity to this shit, it's gonna affect all communities that we've built and grown and enjoyed together. And it's gonna be tough. Do I want to take a break and go back to Kansas? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, even if I didn't feel like I wanted to stay here, I can't. I can't go back. But like I said, I've always felt very safe and comfortable here. Honestly, I would say since I started getting stalked and dealing with harassment when I was 13 years old, I honestly would say this is probably the first place I ever lived that I truly felt safe. Which, then now knowing this shit, it's like, well, but I mean, it's hard, but I truly believe in the good of the people around me, and that all of the times that they supported me and were there for me were real. I genuinely believe that. Shit, I suck at this. I thought I was gonna go into this and have my shit and say it, but it didn't turn out that way. But my emotions are running high, I guess. From an outward perspective, it seemed like they would literally castrate someone for you. That is true, and not just for me, but for other people around here. And I can vouch for that so hard. Obviously, I wasn't there, so I can't. I wasn't there, but with the people that I know, if they knew the full story, this whole thing would have gone completely differently. This would have never happened. I know there's a lot of shit flying around, a lot of accusations that haven't been proven, and I obviously can't speak for any of that. It's not my place, but what I can say is, I mean, you guys know I've lived with Miz for 10 months, and I've hung out with him pretty much every day since I got here. And the Miz that I know would never know the full story and just let that happen. There's just no way that he knew. I'm sorry. That's just not the person that I know. He has always been there for me whenever something horrible happened to me without me even having to ask. And I know that's not just true for me, but for other people. Everyone who's been in my stream before now knows that. He was there for me when we barely fucking knew each other. When I was in a situation where there were people coming to my house. You guys all know this. I've said this a million times. And I had literally nowhere else to go that was safe, that I could also keep all my animals and not have to think about it. He was there for me, and he was there for me when we were in Busan, and I was sexually assaulted during our live stream. He's been there for me whenever I've wanted to vent about something that has happened to me in the past. And the picture that's been painted is not the person that I know. And it's still in my mind nonstop to those girls that I saw in those messages with Slick and Adriana. As someone who has been through all of that and many things that I'll never talk about on stream, I just want to say I'm so sorry that you felt like no one was there for you. Because I know how fortunate I am. And not everyone has that. I just... And maybe I'm overstepping a little to say this, but I feel like no one else is saying it. A lot of the streamers involved in this, I don't believe that you care about what happens to girls on this platform at all. It makes me sick that it only comes out when it seems like it's the right time for you. No one expects you to platform and support every single victim. There's just too many. I'm not saying that, but a lot of the things I've seen just make me sick. It's disgusting. We have to evolve, or we're going to lose the community that we've built. There's a lot of things that I didn't bring up because I can't speak on them, but the shit that I have spoken about, this shit is just not okay. It's disgusting. I'm sorry, it's disgusting. I'm glad that obviously people were able to tell their stories. They deserve that 1,000%. Yeah. Honestly, that's most of what I wanted to say. I was really... I mean, I couldn't pretend this shit didn't happen when it happened in my own fucking house. All I wanted to do was share my own genuine experience and thoughts on the situation of my own accord, and that's it. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to say. I pretty much covered all the stuff that I've been writing. What I wanted was to hopefully just go back to doing my own thing in normal streams while I figure out what I'm gonna do and everything continues to unfold, but I mean, the way I reacted emotionally to it today, I think it's pretty clear that I'm not ready. But I don't think it'll be a long time. Probably just a couple days. I feel a lot better talking about this. I'm not taking a break now. But, I'm not gonna be back for a bit. Before I go, like I said at the beginning of the stream, the sub mode wasn't with the intention to silence people's opinions or not allow them to ask questions. I just knew that there'd be a lot of trolls today, people trying to derail, but, I mean, if you guys have stuff that you're unsure about, feel free to ask about it, but obviously I can't share stuff that involves other people. Will you be staying in the house? Currently, yes. I'm not leaving. I also saw people asking, if I knew about what happened, the original slick allegations before I moved in, and yes, I did. But that was obviously, my understanding was obviously based around what everyone else thought at the time. And that makes me feel like shit. But yeah, I said what I wanted to say. For the most part, I don't want to loop and repeat myself and make this longer than it has to be. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be watching this VOD. And yeah, I obviously can't speak about what's going to happen with other people. But, yeah. I'm fine. So, I'll be gone for, I hope not long. I really honestly, the thing I want most right now is just to go back to some sense of normalcy. Obviously that won't be happening for a while. But I mean, I just want to be able to stream again and not have to constantly be thinking about it. yeah, I guess that's all that I had to say. If you weren't here for the beginning and there's things you're wondering, I probably talked about it at the beginning, so feel free to go look at that. I have no interest in trying to farm or get more involved than I have to be. So that's all, and I'm gonna be leaving, and I will be offline at least for the weekend. And the next time I come back, hopefully, things will be a little more lighthearted. But, yeah, I just hope you all know that I just hope that if you've ever been through shit like this, ever felt hurt because of something similar like this, that a lot of people understand and are there for you. That's all that I want to say. Take care, guys. I'm gonna go now. Goodbye.